Yes, let's acknowledge the unspoken part. Let's say it loud. Misogyny plays a part in all of this. The fact that Blake Lively is a woman is making this whole saga worse. If this was a man, if we had heard that Leonardo DiCaprio had filmed a movie and he went and brought his own editors and made major changes to the film, this would be looked as very innovative. Oh wow, he's such a visionary. He's not just an actor, but he has a vision as a director. Kudos to him. That's how we would see it. But the fact that this is being looked at unfairly doesn't justify what she did. Something that I forgot to mention in the last video is the fact that Blake Lively has pretty much backed herself into a corner with this whole situation. Because if you know anything about Hollywood, is that every director's worst nightmare is to go through what Justin Baldoni is describing. To start a project, to go as far as to being not just the director, but the person whose production company owns the rights to make the movie. So you have invested a lot of money into making this movie. You have put your time and your efforts sourcing the writers and the collabs and all the permits and investing in finding the sets and locations and doing all this investment based on a vision that you had for this movie when you optioned the book, only for it to be taken away from you, whether it be from one of the producers or some of the talent that you have working for you in the movie. It really doesn't get any worse than that. So if you can imagine what is going on right now in boardrooms, in lunchrooms, everywhere in this town of Hollywood. Directors, actors, producers, everybody is talking about this case, and it is not looking good for Blake Lively. Because based on what Justin Baldoni is saying, I guarantee you, nobody moving forward is going to want to risk going through this experience by hiring her as an actress in their project. Not to mention that there's this video that has been going around lately of Blake literally admitting on camera to doing exactly what Justin Baldoni is saying she did to him in this movie.
I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me and that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do.
She's saying it clearly. I come in and pretend that I'm just going to do the thing that they hired me to do, which is to act. But the truth is, I have other motives. I intend to come in and be somebody who's a driving force in this project. I will have my vision be executed in this movie because that's the only way I am interested in being in a movie, even though I don't let them know at the beginning of the project. On the one hand, I understand where Blake is coming from. As a woman, a lot of times in all kinds of industries, not just in Hollywood, but across industries, women are not taken seriously. They are not. And so if they have plans and hopes and dreams and a vision for the project they get hired to, and they hope to be able to do something in a cooperative manner, a lot of times they are not taken seriously. They get ignored, they get pushed to the side. And so Blake probably feels the pressure to say, okay, since you're not going to take me seriously, if from the get-go I tell you that I am interested in being a very active participant in the storytelling, I'm going to pretend that all I'm going to do is stand where you tell me to stand and say the lines that you tell me to say. But the truth is, I'm going to find the way to finagle myself into having a senior role in this movie. I will lie my way into getting my way, and that's where the problem comes in. I understand why you do it. It still doesn't make it right for you to do that. Because basically what you're doing is being dishonest. And nobody wants that. You wouldn't want that in a project where you are working on, that you already have a vision of what you want it to look like. You wouldn't want somebody to come into this project not telling you their true intentions and then kind of derailing the direction of your project. So right now, Blake Lively has put herself in a position that is not a very desirable position to be in as an actress in this industry. And when I say Blake Lively has put herself in this position, she started this. We need to go back a little bit and remind ourselves that this entire saga started and was pushed by Blake Lively herself. Even during the promotion of this movie, when there were whispers that something has to be wrong, because why isn't she even in the same room with this man? Why are the cast over on their side doing all press together, and Justin Baldoni has been completely left out in the cold? Even during those whispers, Justin Baldoni was the consummate professional. He spoke highly of everybody in the project, including and especially Blake.
There's something about Blake that we don't know, and what was it like working with her?
I don't know if you know how smart and creative she really is. I think she's best known as an actress, and of course she's, a fashion, icon, but she is so much more than that. She is a dynamic creative. She had her hands in every part of this production, and everything she touched, she made better.
He praised her contributions to the film. He talked about it was a joy working with her. He kept it cute. He did it nice, like Dorinda.
I did it nice!
He really did what you're supposed to do as a professional who's promoting a project, not wanting to invite any kind of drama or chatter that would take away from the project itself. He did what he was supposed to do. But when people started noticing some discrepancies and they started criticizing Blake, that's when she decided, to take the heat off of me, I'm going to kick him down the road to make myself look good, to get back in the good graces of the public. And this is when everything came out. She left him with no choice but to then come out and say, okay, I have been covering you all this time. I have been protecting you. I have been making you look good, better than I should have made you look. But now that the gloves are off, I'm going to tell it all. And the only career that is suffering as a result of this right now, well, I can't even say that, because Justin has suffered. In the beginning, when Blake released her explosive complaint, people started distancing themselves from Justin. He lost his talent agency. And I'm pretty sure that they are regretting that right now. But he lost his talent agency just on the accusation that Blake did, before there was any proof that what she was saying was the truth. And I touched on that 2 videos ago when I addressed the whole believe all women and why it's really not fair. But Blake Lively is the one who stands to lose the most moving forward. There are not going to be a lot of directors who are going to want to work with her based on everything that has come to light about her behavior in this movie and her unearthed confessions that this is exactly what she does in all movies. In addition to her terrible behavior taking over the project from Justin Baldoni in this movie, we have now seen, and I believe it's going to come out in court, that she has used media publications like the New York Times to smear Justin in order to make herself look good. And based on the preliminary evidence that we're seeing, it's very clear that she was working with the New York Times to give them the exclusive, giving them information about the complaint she was about to file, because the quickness with which the New York Times came out with receipts 24 hours after the complaint, I think it was even before 24 hours were completed since Blake launched her complaint. There is no way that they worked on that thing. They put this together in just 12 hours with screenshots, doctored screenshots of texts and other pieces of evidence that turned out to be highly biased. That's nasty work. And other people in the industry are saying, oh, this is how you get down? This is not, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to put up with this working with you. It's terrible. And now, seeing all this evidence that is coming out, it is clear that the fact that all the other staff from the movie, all the other actors, all kind of came together by unfollowing Justin and not wanting to be seen with him and not wanting to even mention him in the press run and giving him his flowers for putting this project together. It is clear to me that Blake used her star power and her husband's star power to turn all of them against him. I just have a special disdain and dislike for people who have that power over others. The power to turn a group of people against an individual. That is just so typical mean girl behavior. I cannot stand mean girls. And it is clear, it is very clear that that is exactly what Blake did on the set of this movie and moving into the promotion, leading towards the premiere. It is just so disgusting. And I have a feeling that a lot of these actors that were poisoned against him are going to resent that. We have already seen her friend, Taylor Swift, create a very clear distance between her and Blake. We have seen that Colleen Hoover, the author of the book, who during the promotion and even after the accusations came out, she took Blake's side. And when Justin came out and showed his side of things, she ran and deleted her Instagram because she couldn't handle the backlash she was getting. When she came back, she completely distanced herself from Blake Lively. So it seems like everybody's starting to wake up and saying, wait a minute, I feel like I was used. I feel like I went against somebody that I should have given a chance and listened to before turning my back on him. So people are going to be looking at her with kind of the side eye moving forward. And I was even thinking about this, even insurance companies that tend to insure these projects, when dealing with somebody like Blake Lively and hearing about her manipulative tactics, threatening not to promote the movie if she doesn't get her way, threatening not to show up, some insurance companies might be a little hesitant to insure projects where Blake Lively is an actress for fear that they might have to insure movies that get blown up if Blake Lively doesn't get her way. There's a whole plethora of things that Blake has now opened up herself to seem as if she is not the best bet when it comes to a project. Now, the good news for Blake is her and her husband have enough money and enough clout in Hollywood that they can fund their own projects. They have their own production companies and they can, moving forward, she might be able to just act in projects where she is the producer director. Now, who's going to go watch those movies? I don't know. I really don't know, because the amount of bad will that her brand and even Ryan Reynolds' brand have incurred in this whole saga, there's going to be a lot of people boycotting her projects moving forward and making sure that she doesn't make money in her upcoming projects because they feel that she's not going to be deserving of any rewards moving forward. And I don't really blame people. If this really pans out the way it looks like it's going to pan out, it's just not going to be good for her career. And yes, let's acknowledge the unspoken part. Let's say it loud. Misogyny plays a part in all of this. We cannot ignore the fact that Blake Lively is a woman is making this whole saga worse. If this was a man who have taken over a project from another director, to have pushed his vision in front of the vision that was already set in place, would we be seeing this kind of backlash? I don't believe so. If we had heard that Leonardo DiCaprio had filmed a movie and he didn't think that the director did a great job and he went and brought his own producers and his own editors and made major changes to the film, and in the end it was his vision that prevailed, this would be looked as very brave of him, very innovative. Oh wow, he's such a visionary. He's not just an actor, but he has a vision as a director. Kudos to him. That's how we would see it. And so the fact that Blake Lively is a woman and she dared to take this project away from a man is playing a part in the disdain that is being displayed by the public and by the industry at large. But the fact that this is being looked at unfairly doesn't justify what she did. The fact that this horrendous behavior would be forgiven of a man doesn't mean that it is okay to forgive anybody. I think we should criticize anybody who does this, whether it's a man or a woman. But in the world we live in, a woman is going to get it worse. And I'm sorry, Blake. I'm sorry that you're being judged more harshly than others, but you need to be judged. You need to be judged. And I think that moving forward, the lesson that we should learn from this is stay in your lane. I know that there are times that you want to make a difference, but if you are so pushy and deceitful in your methods, it is going to soil your last result. If you are not part of the privileged class, meaning men. Learn to be influential without being pushy. I'm sorry, but that is the only way to move forward. I have had situations in which I have had to take over projects, but I did it in such a sweet and humble way that at the end, the person that was above me doing the project really thought that it was their ideas that made the project better, even though it was me. And I didn't care. I really didn't care. I just wanted the project to be done better. And when you do things like that, you get rewarded eventually. Life always finds the way, not always, but a lot of the times life will find the way to give credit where credit is due. And so don't always try to fight for recognition. Fight to do the good work. And the recognition eventually will come because you will be trusted more and more, and you will be given more and more responsibility. And then you will end up finding yourself in the rightful position to take control in a very visible way. But you have to be careful how you move. Look at Blake Lively. She is a powerful, rich, beautiful white woman. And she's going to suffer greatly for what she did, I think. Maybe her privilege and her attachment to her husband will help her in the end, but her image will take a hit that will last for a really long time. So if you don't have all those things that give her all that privilege, learn to do things more stealthily than her. And maybe in the future, I'll do a video talking about how you can leave a mark without it being you just running and breaking things. But for now, that's all I have on this topic today. Thank you so much for watching me. If you would like to see me do more commentary videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Please share this content if you think that other people would enjoy it. While you are here, watch other videos. And hopefully I will see you in the next one.